Hello, I am Garrett Godfrey, and welcome to the Crowdfunding Christian Music Podcast, where I'm working to connect artists with fans and fans with artists so that you can find and fund the music you love. This is episode 48, recorded Thursday, April 28th, 2016. Think of me as both your tour guide and filter as we look at some current campaigns by The Waiting Kind, Starflyer 59, Ginny and Tyler, Rivers and Robots, and Brother Anders. I hope you enjoy the show and find something you can connect with and fund. Before we get into the campaigns, I just want to remind you that we've got the timestamps for all these different campaigns in the show notes. So, on to the campaigns. First up tonight are The Waiting Kind out of Boise, Idaho, with a Kickstarter campaign for a new album. Now, 5 years ago, they'd launched a Kickstarter campaign for their second worship EP, but then they canceled it when they realized that life stuff like marriage and having kids and moving would be interrupting the band stuff. Well, they've stayed close over the last 5 years, and they're back, and they're ready to do a new album. Let's hear more about it on their campaign video.
"5 years ago, we were just four guys who believed we gave God everything. He could do something significant with our lives. So we packed up our hopes, our dreams, left our families, hit the road, traveled the country to see what God could do in us and through us. We had the time of our lives and met so many amazing people. We launched a campaign to fully fund our next worship EP. But our lives began to take a drastic turn. Some of us got married. Some of us had kids. Others traveled the world. But in all this, we knew that we never really got to say all that we had to say. There were songs left undone, melodies we didn't sing. Sometimes dreams have to sleep. They have to breathe. But now we feel this is a time better than any to sing what we always wanted to sing. So here we are. We wondered if you would help us. Join us. The Waiting Kind.
Now, I wasn't familiar with them before finding this campaign, so I watched a video that they had on their campaign page and also found their Bandcamp page, and they've got a really nice sound. So I'm going to play some of their song, Your Love is Strong, from one of the YouTube videos they put on the campaign page.
You have seen me. Our God is love, love that reaches out. Our God is love, love that frees us. We will not fear, we will not be afraid, for your love.
Now, their campaign goal is $7,500, and they're only a third of the way there. They've got 46 backers, pledging just shy of $2,500 with 10 days to go. This campaign closes May 9th. For $10, you get the digital album early. For $20, you get a signed CD and that early download. and a digital copy of the most recent EP. And then there are more reward levels available, including an exclusive acoustic concert, limited edition shirts, and a painting. So be sure to check it out, but do it quickly. This campaign closes May 9th. Oh, and I should add, you can get their earlier EP over at Bandcamp for $8, or you can head over to Noisetrade and get the 6-song EP for a tip or free. So if you liked what you heard, be sure and at least check out their EP and then check out their campaign page. Next up is Starflyer 59. Now, these guys have been on Tooth Nail Records for, well, their first album, Silver, came out in '94. And they put out 12 studio albums on Tooth Nail, and then they released I Am a CEO independently. Now they're back on Tooth and Nail for their 14th studio album titled Slow. The album will have 8 songs and will come out June 17th on digital, CD, and vinyl, and they're currently offering a pre-order campaign for it right now. Here's a bit of the first single to be released, Wrong Time, and this is off the Tooth Nail Records SoundCloud page of Starflyer 59. Here you go. Now, they used to have such a, just a laid-back shoegazer sound, and this has so much more of a Cure sort of vibe. If you dig that as much as I do, definitely check out the pre-order where you can get the digital for $7.99, the CD for $9.99, and the vinyl for $17.99. Again, that comes out June 17th, so the links will be in the show notes. Next up are Ginny and Tyler out of Nashville, Tennessee, and if you listen to Under the Radar, and you should, you probably heard them. Now, I covered a campaign of theirs way back in episode 16. Their album, Of This I'm Sure, it's this one, that came out last year, but they've recently launched a pre-order campaign to release it on vinyl. So you can get it for $20 on vinyl, and then there are these extra packages available that include either their live CD or the studio CD. And I'm going to play a bit of their music for you from their YouTube page, just in case you're not sure what they sound like, to give you a flavor of their sweet style. Here they are.
Back to the life you know, neatly arranged. I have done for you everything, my love. Hear my song for you. I will not hold my It's late, you're getting cold. You try to keep warm, but you're alone.
So that's Ginny and Tyler. Now, I'm going to include a couple other things on the show notes, including the Under the Radar interview with them, which is their episode 338, and they do the most amazing cover of I Still Haven't Found What I'm Looking For by U2, including guest vocals by Sarah Groves. So you absolutely ought to check that out. So those will be in the show notes as well. And check out their pre-order for the vinyl. Next up are two campaigns that I'd kind of covered already, but they have new twists to them. So the first is Rivers and Robots. Now, I'd covered their Kickstarter campaign for the new album, The Eternal Sun, back in episode 38. But if you missed your chance to get in on it early, things are looking up for you. Now they've offered a pre-order opportunity on Bandcamp, and they've got the first song out. It's called Wait For You, so we're going to take a listen to it. Here you go.
How long now until you come? Until we see you as the eternal sun, just like the evening for the morning sun. We wait for you. We wait for you.
Now, the currency for this is all in pounds because they're British, but Bandcamp will convert it to US dollars for you and tell you shipping costs for any physical media. So for $8 you get the digital version, for $10 you get the CD, and for $25 you get the double colored vinyl. And if you liked what you heard, definitely check out their campaign page for the pre-order over at Bandcamp. But if you head over to Noisetrade, you can also get some of their stuff available free from Noisetrade. So I'll include the links for those as well, just because their stuff is pretty spectacular. So big fan of Rivers and Robots here. The other one that I have as a follow-up for you is Brother Anders. Now, I'd never heard of Alex Macias before I covered his campaign a couple weeks ago, but it's amazing, and I was really excited about his Kickstarter campaign, and it was successfully funded, but it seems like he also added a chance to get in with an IndieGoGo campaign with flexible funding. And if I look at the dates right, it seems like that launched like just as the Kickstarter successfully closed. So if you missed your chance to get in on that, you can get in on it again over at IndieGoGo. So the goal over on IndieGoGo is for $10,000, but it's flexible funding. So whatever's pledged, he'll be able to collect, and he just doesn't get as much of a percentage of it as if it meets the goal. But I'm going to play his campaign video where he talks about the project and a bit of the music kind of is in the background and at the end, and you can hear it better. It's a really great sound. I'm pretty excited about this project. So this is Brother Anders from his IndieGoGo campaign page.
It's been over 3 years since I've been in the studio, and I'm heading back in just a few days to record a new album of hymns and spirituals. For me, it'll be a new sound, and I'm partnering with a new producer, Matthew E. White. We'll be recording at Spacebomb, Matthew's record label and production company here in Richmond, and I'm bringing some new singers and artists into the studio with me. This record is going to be a bigger project than I've done in the past, and I've invested more time and energy than ever into the songs. I'm so excited to be recording these songs with Spacebomb because their sound is big and authentic. It's both timeless and distinctly Richmond. It takes me back to the music of the 70s, Bill Withers, Al Green, and Staple Singers, and other gospel greats. But it also reflects our local music scene. I can't wait to share this music with you, and I'd love for you to consider joining me in making this record. As the project continues, I'll be posting regular updates for backers. Thanks.
Those who said and not and sold him, pierced and nailed him to the tree, deeply wed.
So the terms on this campaign are essentially the same as what it was when it was on Kickstarter. For $8, you get the digital copy early. For $15 plus shipping, you get the limited run CD, and it looks like this is the only time he's going to be making the CDs. Plus, you get that download. For $25, you get 2 copies of the CD, and then there are more reward levels available. So be sure to act in the next 11 days, though, because it looks like this campaign closes on May 9th. Now, that's it for the campaigns this episode, but I'd like to ask you to do something. If this is your first time watching or listening, please consider subscribing over at iTunes, Stitcher, YouTube, wherever you found it. You can subscribe there. And if you've been with me on this podcast for a while, I'm going to issue the Dare to Share. Think of someone you know that might get into this podcast and tell them about it this week. If you back any of the campaigns, or if you just want to help them spread the word, be sure to tweet about it, post it on Facebook, mention it to your friends in real life. If you want to send me some feedback, head over to the Facebook page for the podcast, like it, and message me. Follow at The Other CCM over on Twitter. Shoot me a tweet, or you can email me, feedback at crowdfundingchristianmusic.com. If you like the theme song at the beginning of the show, it's Hypostatic Union by the X Structure, Christian group out of South Africa. All their music is Name Your Price over at Bandcamp right now, so be sure to check them out. And keep coming back. There will be lots more campaigns to cover. I'm Garrett Godfrey, and I'll see you again soon. Bye. First up tonight are The Waiting Kind out of Boise, Ohio. Not Boise, Ohio. Boise, Idaho. Let's try that again. Next up are Jenny and Tyler out of Nashville, Tennessee. And if you listen to Under the Radar, and you should, you've probably heard of them. I covered a campaign of theirs way back in episode 16 as well. And their album Of This I'm Sure, it's this one right here, that came out last year. This is so bad. I'm going to start that over again. Now, the currency is all in pounds because they're from the UK, but Bandcamp will Bandcamp will convert. I'm just going to start over.